Hi, thank you for stopping by. Today at Christie's Crafts, we're going to be making Snowman Christmas DIY decor for your home. It'll be high-end, but it'll be low cost with Dollar Tree products. Please click and subscribe if you like what you see. Now, let's get started. Okay, for the first DIY, we will be making 3 snowmen that say "Let It Snow." I was able to use my Cricut for the wording, and then we'll also use chalk paint, white chalk paint. I'm also going to use an indigo blue and the ink black chalk paint, and then of course the orange for the nose, or for the carrot nose. So everything is from the Dollar Tree. We have some snowflakes. We have a little stocking cap that we'll use for the hat and the scarf. And then we have these little signs that I found from the fall that we'll be connecting together with the paint sticks. And the paint sticks were purchased from Amazon. And we'll cut off these hangers and pull out the staples from the top, and then we'll connect everything together. And the stocking cap, like I said, we'll cut pieces of that out and use that for the scarf and for the hats to give it a little bit of dimension. So I just used my wire cutters to pull the staples out of the back. They came out pretty easy. Once those are out, then we'll connect those 2 pieces together to make a sign large enough for the 3 snowmen. So this turns out really nice. We're going to have a little stand for it as well, so that it can just stand up, and you can put it on a fireplace, you could put it on a coffee table, you could put it, just as decor behind, some of your other snowman decor, or, anything that you'd like, really. So we're going to use these paint sticks. We're just going to use some hot glue and glue these pieces together so that they're nice and secure. And they work really nice, make them really sturdy. So I'm using the indigo blue as a background on this. You could really use any color. You could use red, black. I just prefer the blue. I thought it was really nice with the snowmen and the snowflakes, kind of a little bit of a winter wonderland. So I ended up mixing, I think, the indigo blue with a little bit of black to make it a little bit of a deeper, darker blue. So you can definitely do that if you'd like. And I think I did 2 coats on this. So once you get everything painted, then we'll move to the next step. And to speed this up, I did use my heat gun, and I would highly recommend buying one of those if you don't have one, because you don't have to wait as long, and you're able to move through your project a little bit quicker. So heat gun is a way to go. So once that is ready, then we're going to paint our snowmen. So I just chose a white paint, the chalk white paint. And it doesn't really matter which brand you use. I think it was the Waverly that I used for this project. So once you have, I also did 2 coats of white paint on the snowmen as well. So once you get everything painted, then we'll move to the nose and paint the nose an orange color. Each of the noses orange. So I just used that orange, just an acrylic paint. You could also use a chalk paint if you'd like. And I think I got that from Hobby Lobby. and I think it was half off, so I think it was 99 cents. So once you have the noses painted, then we want to move to adding the eyes. So I just used the back of a paintbrush that I purchased at Dollar Tree and used the black ink chalk paint for the eyes. And I ended up not putting mouths on these particular snowmen. I thought they were a lot cuter without the mouths. You could absolutely add them, but I did not. So I just thought they looked kind of cute and little, and I just thought it worked a little bit better for this project. So of course my heat gun, and then now we're going to use our stocking cap, and we're going to use the fabric on this. We're going to cut out the scarf and the hat. And what's nice about this is you could paint that easily, but I really enjoy using the fabric. The quality is so nice, and it gives that extra dimension to the snowman. But you absolutely could use cardstock, you could use paint, you could use really anything to embellish the scarves and the hats on these little snowmen. But I decided to use this hat, and once I removed all the interior of the hat, I just cut out the pieces to fit the scarf and the hat for the snowman. And then I just hot glued them on, so you'll see that here in a minute. And make sure you use good quality scissors. The scissors that I had were not cutting the fabric very well, so I had to move to a different set of scissors. So either sharpen them or buy new ones when you have trouble. So I just measured that out, and then I was able to get the size that I needed. And then the design in the hat also was great for the stocking cap on each snowman. And I was able to use some of the design for that portion of the hat as well. So once I had all my pieces cut, then I glued them on with my hot glue gun. And the fabric is very forgiving, and you can stretch it if you cut it a little bit too short. If of course, if you cut it a little bit too long, you can trim it. But I thought it worked out really nicely for this project. And Dollar Tree has a lot of options with those stocking caps. I think they have like a black, a red, a gray, several different colors, so you could really go with any color scheme that you like. That's what's nice about doing these projects, is that you have the ability to make them match your decor. So it doesn't have to be exact, but hopefully this inspires you and gives you a few ideas for your holiday decorating. And I really enjoy snowmen. I really like the snowman decor. And it's so versatile, and there's so many options and so many ideas out there. I've watched a few other YouTube channels, and I really enjoy seeing the talents that other people have, and it just gives you a lot of ideas, and especially when you're on a budget. Dollar Tree, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, with the sales that they have and that kind of thing, you can really make some really high-end decor for your home at a very, very low cost. I mean, this particular project probably cost, let's see, we got the $3. We have the stand, which is another 2 pieces from Dollar Tree glued together. You'll see that at the end. So it's probably about $6 to $7 with all the paint and the Cricut, vinyl that was used for the wording and that kind of thing. But remember, I'm not an artist. I've said that before. So a lot of this is, just printed out from the Dollar Tree. You can definitely do it by hand. You can use stencils that you can purchase at Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby. So there's a lot of options for this type of a displayed product or project, this decor for your home. So as you can see, I'm gluing all 3 of the snowmen on the board. I just thought it was really cute, 3 little snowmen. And then we'll put the words "Let It Snow" on each of the snowmen. So cute. We'll just use our little squeegee and secure those to each of the snowmen. I measured ahead of time. If you don't have a Cricut, I highly recommend it. But again, you can use, you can paint on the words, you can use a Sharpie, you can use paint markers. I mean, there's a number of ways that, you can put the wording. You can also use any wording that you would like for your projects. So I thought that looked really cute. And then we're going to use some of these snowflakes from Dollar Tree. And I just set them out kind of where I wanted them to go. And then some of the smaller snowflakes, which I ended up painting all of those white. I gave them a fresh coat of white paint. And then you just want to glue those on. Once you have those glued in place, then you want to take a look and make sure that everything has the placing that you want it, and if you need to add some, you can. And then now we want to work on our stand. So I took these fall signs from Dollar Tree, $1 each. I loved the wood color on the side, so I decided to keep that, but on the top I painted it white. I gave it 2 coats of white paint for the snowmen, kind of the snowy effect. And at the end we're going to sprinkle on a little bit of faux snow, shimmery snow, and make it a little bit more sparkly. But 2 coats of white paint and you're good for this particular base or the stand for the sign. You could also prop this sign up if you'd like, but I found that the stand made it a little bit taller, and then it also, I think it looks a little bit nicer with the sign itself. But you could definitely just prop the sign up against a wall, on a shelf, or anything like that for your decor. And then of course I used my favorite hot heat gun. All right, now we're taking some glue and putting that on part of the hat, and then we're using the sparkly snow to give it a little bit of a snowy effect. You could use anything for that. You could, if you have like the little pom-poms, or if you have like a cotton ball, there's a number of things you could use. And I ended up taking a little bit of that glue and kind of flicking it on the back, the actual frame, or around the snowman, and then I just sprinkled that snow all over so that way it would have a little bit of a sparkly, snowy effect. And then you just want to remove the excess. There were a few places that I missed, so I just kind of went back with my paintbrush with the glue and added a few more spots of shimmery snow. So once you get the look that you're going for, you can then attach the sign to the base. So I had these little craft blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I just hot glued those to the back of the sign so that we can attach that to the base and make sure that it's sturdy. And I ended up putting several in the center just to give it extra stability, and then I put one on each side, one on each corner, to make sure that it was nice and secure. And then you just want to put hot glue on the bottom of that and then just attach it to your base. Easy as that. So now I just added a little more of the glue, and I just used Mod Podge for this particular project. And you just want to take the Mod Podge, put it all over the base and anywhere else that you may have missed. And then you want to sprinkle on the shimmery snow. And then you want to shake off the excess. And we're almost done. Finished product. And there you go. Okay, for DIY 2, we are going to make little snowmen out of, these are the little balls that you would place in like a bowl on your coffee table. I purchased these at the Target dollar spot, and I think they came in like 5 in a pack for $3. And what I did is I just figured out how I wanted to stack these, and then I used a little wooden round that I purchased from Amazon in a pack of like, I think there were 15 in a pack, and they were really reasonable. I'll try to put that link down in the bottom of the description box. But I just hot glued the bases on each of these, and then I just began making kind of these rustic snowmen. I thought these were really cute. The green color is especially popular right now, and of course the wood, shades, and I just thought it would be kind of a fun, decor for Christmas, but a little bit more on the rustic side instead of the plain white snowman. So you want to hot glue these together, and the green one will be a taller one that we'll put kind of in the center of the 2 smaller snowmen. So we'll just glue all these together, and then once we glue them together, we're not going to add any faces or anything like that. We're just going to add some buffalo check, black and white ribbon for their scarves. And I just tied those on, and then I hot glued them down just so that they stayed in place. This is a really simple DIY, quick and easy. I just thought the color scheme was cute, and I thought it was a kind of a fun way to display snowmen, way different than the norm. So you could dovetail the ends, but I thought that it looked cute just the way it was. So there you go. So as I was working on this project, I really wanted to add some wording, but I wanted you to be able to see it. So I found these cute ornaments at Walmart. And this one says Merry Christmas, and it's black to tie into the black and white buffalo check. I just took a piece of twine and tied it on the end, and then I hot glued it to the stand. All right, for DIY 3, we are going to make a little countdown to Christmas calendar, and we are going to be using mostly Dollar Tree. The little snowman is from the Dollar Tree. The blocks are all from Dollar Tree. I used my heat gun to remove some of the stickers, but I ended up utilizing the face on the snowman, so I went ahead and peeled off all of the pieces that I did not want. And then we're going to paint this white. So we're going to paint the body of the snowman white, and then we're going to paint the hat black. We're going to use the white paint for the blocks. You can see those are little dice from the Dollar Tree. They come in a set of 4 for $1. And then the blocks were left over from some pieces of wood or little wooden holders. Those are like the little baskets or drawers that were inside of another larger box that I used for another project. So you just want to paint all of those white. That's going to be our stand for the little dice to go inside with the numbers for the days of the month, so that we can have fun with our kids and count down the days till Christmas. And again, I used my Cricut to make some little mittens for the hands for the snowman. Like he's kind of holding a sign there that says days until Christmas. So once you get everything painted, you want to attach those. And then we're going to attach the words days until Christmas. Everything was printed out on my Cricut. But again, you could utilize anything. You could hand write it with a Sharpie, the paint markers, anything. And then we use Christmas, and I did that in red. And I've seen these out and about, like at Home Goods and even Walmart. You know, they have some variable, I guess, or variances that, you know, you can go to the different stores and buy the different days until Christmas, so you can count down. You know, there's a lot of different options, I guess I should say. But here I took buffalo check and made a little scarf and hot glued that onto the snowman, and I also used some red ribbon with a little white trim for the hat. And I just hot glued that on. And then what we're going to do is take our 2 base boxes and glue those together. And then once those are glued together, we're going to glue the snowman down to the top of that base. So now we have a place to put our blocks with the numbers. So I was able to find, be careful with this, it's a little tricky when you add these numbers, but again, I used my Cricut. So it's just the vinyl that I'm putting down on the blocks. But thankfully I had a set of blocks that were used in another piece of decor in my home. And I was able to follow the pattern of the numbers so that I ensured that I had the correct pattern, so that I could, you know, utilize the days, you know, 1 through 31 or whatever for the countdown to Christmas. So I did embellish the hat, or I'm sorry, around the scarf there with a little bit of greenery from the Dollar Tree. And then also I utilized a little bit of the berries also from the Dollar Tree. So all of this project was from the Dollar Tree, the ribbon, everything. So there you go. You can see how cute that is, and you can switch around those blocks and have fun with your kids. All right, for DIY 4, another super easy decor idea for snowmen. So this is a Dollar Tree candle that I removed the price tag, and then we are going to add a little face that I printed on my Cricut, and we're going to add that to the top along with the little carrot nose from my Cricut. Again, you could use your Sharpie or anything if you feel confident in drawing the face on. It makes like a little snowman, and I have seen this on a few other channels, but this is just my take on it. I also created the little buttons on my Cricut, and then I'm going to utilize this red and white check for the scarf, and I'm just going to tie that on, and then I'm going to glue the ends down to the front of the candle. And I thought this looked a little country, so we'll just call him a country snowman. But he turned out really cute. Super simple, quick and easy. You know, just a little more than $1 to make this cute candle that you can display. I like to put these on my fireplace. I made a couple of other ones in my last video that say Merry Christmas. And then I ended up tying a little twine on the top just to give it a little added embellishment. And there you go. And that's all there is to it. So cute. Alright, so our next snowman DIY is going to be utilizing these little gift boxes from the Dollar Tree. I just bought them in sizes where I had a large one, a medium one, and a small one. And then I also utilized these little cups from the Dollar Tree that I purchased from the birthday party section. And I'll use that to create the hat. And then, of course, white chalk paint, black. I have a little bit of wax for some, you know, to give it a little bit of a rustic look. So you're just going to start out with the white chalk paint and paint each of these bases. I did remove the lids from each of them. You will not need them for this project. But the nice part about these little boxes is you could do anything with these. You could make like a snowman, you know, any of that. So now you want to take the hot glue and you want to glue down the cup to the lid, and I think I used the medium lid for this particular hat that I was creating. And we're going to paint the hat black, and you also want to remove the exterior of that cup. I found that you could not paint on there at all. The paint was not sticking, so I just used the black acrylic paint and painted this particular hat. And then the top of the hat still had it had like a film on it, and so I ended up having to use black chalk paint, and it stuck a lot better on this particular hat. The white paint, the chalk paint, it worked perfectly for the bases of each of the body of the snowman. So I put 2 coats, I think, of black paint on this particular hat, just so that we were good to go. You want to let that dry or use your heat gun. And then now what we're going to do is take the wax, and we are going to put that on the edges all around the top and the bottom of each of the sections of the body. And then we'll also put a few marks, you know, throughout each section just to give it a little bit more of a rustic feel. And sorry I got a little bit off camera there. And you can utilize your paper towel to wipe off the excess, and don't worry if you make a mistake or if you add a little bit too much. You can just use a little bit of white paint and use that paper towel to you know, get the desired look that you want. And then now we're going to piece this together. We're just going to hot glue each piece to each other. The large on the bottom, medium in the middle, and the small on the top. Make sure that you line up the back creases together along the back so that you have a nice clean look on the front of your snowman. And again, I was off camera here, but I didn't know if I wanted to put the hat on the side or, you know, just put it on there straight. I ended up putting it on there straight. I'll show you that here in a minute once I glue it on. So you just glue that on the top. And there you go. So the next part we'll begin to add the eyes and the nose and the mouth. And I ended up painting these on, and I ended up making a slight mistake. I made the eyes a little too large for this project, and so I ended up painting over those later on, and with the white paint and a little bit of the wax, and I made the correction. And then I used the back of the paintbrush and added a little bit of black paint to paint on the smile or the mouth. I used my hot glue gun so that I wouldn't make any errors or smudge it. And then I just used an orange Sharpie to add the nose. I just kind of drew a little carrot nose and colored that in. You could also use orange paint and fill that in once you draw it, but I ended up just using the orange marker and it worked just fine. So, and then I used a little bit of pink. Oh, and then I added the little buttons down the front with the back of the paintbrush as well. And then I added, this particular ribbon was from Walmart, and I thought it was so cute. Really nice quality ribbon. And I thought, you know, it was a nice, it has little snowflakes on it, and it's a gray color to match some of my other decor in my home. I know a lot of people have the grays and things in their home right now, so I thought that that would work out perfect. And then I just cut a few pieces to make the rest of the scarf. So I just glued those pieces on in the front. You'll see it in just a minute. I'll show you a little bit more of a clear shot of that. And then I just used my scissors to kind of cut, you know, some little fringe pieces on the bottom of the scarf. Just hot glue those on. I just cut off the excess and added the little fringe pieces. Again, I apologize for being a little bit off camera. Still new at this, but I'll show you the finished look here in a minute. And then I just added a little piece on the top of that so that it would look like it was folded or tied together. And then I added the same ribbon on the hat. I just folded it in half here, you'll see. I thought it was a little too wide, so I folded that in half, and then I glued that on the rim of his hat so it all matched. And then once you get that all glued on, I did add a little greenery and some berries from the Dollar Tree just to embellish the hat a little bit up at the top. And the greenery is just the little pieces of greenery from the Dollar Tree. They come in like a pack of 10. And then I added a little bit of white to the eyes. Still didn't care for the eyes. I thought they were a little too big for this project, so I did make them a little smaller later on. And then I took a little pink, like a pink color, and added that onto the cheeks of the snowman. It was just a pink chalk paint. I took my scissors and I made a hole on each side of the snowman to add a stick from my yard. I just cut it in half with my miter cutters, and I hot glued those in the holes. And that is done. So cute. All right, DIY 6, the last one. So another easy one, we're going to be making little snowman ornaments out of some ornaments that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. So I bought the white bells and I removed the top of those. And then I bought 2 of these little snowmen. I needed the heads of the snowmen to add to the top of the bells. I just thought it was a cuter way to go. I thought that it added a little extra for this particular ornament. And these also can just sit on a table, or even you could put them on a tray. A tiered tray would be really cute. But I just hot glued the heads onto the top, and then I took these. These are also from the Dollar Tree, the little gnomes. I just cut the hats off, and I decided to put those on the top of the snowman just to add a little extra to the ornament itself. And I ended up removing the little earpieces there, and they had like a wire inside of them, so I used those to hold the hat up. And so I just removed those from the side by lifting those off of the snowman face, and then I just added the actual hat on, and it hot glued it to the head of the snowman. You'll see that here in a second. And the little earmuffs worked perfect to kind of hold that hat in place and stand it up on this particular ornament or snowman display item or little decor item. And once you get that how you want it, it's really all done. So I just used the scarf and the head of the snowman from the Dollar Tree and then just hot glued that onto the bell. I thought that those were really cute. I actually have seen these for sale other places, and they ran around $10 a piece, because I would imagine because of the bell. So this is just my version of that. So cute. So I ended up making the second one, and then I used the twine and I just looped that together. I tied a little knot on the back, and then I hot glued that to the back of the head of the snowman so that you could either hang it on a tree, or it could just, like I said, just sit up on a tiered tray or a table as a decoration. So cute. Hope you like these. I'm so glad that you all stopped by to take a look at the snowman decor that I've created. I hope that it gives you inspiration. I hope that you all have happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, and enjoy your crafting. It's so fun and so rewarding to be able to create these high-end decor items for your home at such a low cost using Dollar Tree and different products from various stores to bring into your home. Merry Christmas, everyone.